Hi, everybody.
Hello there.
Going to talk to you today about setting up your golf date here in the villages. So, sounds pretty straightforward. Back home, you'd call the course and just make a reservation. Can't do that here. It's a little more complicated. So I'm going to go step by step. I've written some things down. I'm going to follow a checklist kind of talk to you. Linda's mostly just going to be eye candy in this video. She's not been involved in the planning the golfing yet, and I'm sorry, this is our earliest blog yet. We usually do them later in the day. So look at that big lizard out there on that tree. See his neck all puffed out?
Oh, yeah.
That is really cool. Benefit of living in Florida, you never know what you're going to see. So it's cool, all the wildlife down here. But the tee time system. Now, you know already there are, and my numbers could be off because they're always building new things, but there are at least 40 executive courses. I've only played 17 of them, I think. And there are 12 championship courses, and those championship courses each have at least 3 9-hole links, so you can get a little variety of what you play there. But say you want to play, how do you do that? Well, golf being the number one draw here, thousands of people are playing every day. So they have to have an efficient way to guarantee that some people don't dominate the tee time system. If you were unscrupulous, you could log in a tee time every day or schedule one every day and then cancel out the ones you don't want or not show up. So you can't have that. So they have a system where it actually penalizes you if you make a reservation and don't play. And it keeps track of the amount of time that you do play. So I'm going to try to describe that a little bit for you. It's very confusing to me when we moved here. As a new homeowner, if you build a house here, I think you're more in the loop where they actually schedule you some orientations. But here I kind of had to do it on our own. They do offer what's called the Good Golf School, where you go and they will talk you through the entire automated process to make tee times. There are about 3 ways you can play. Number 1, you can just get on your phone and you can dial the tee time office and you'll get a recording. That is murder. It takes a long time. You have to listen to lots of choices. It's confusing once you get in there and you make a reservation, if you're lucky enough to decode all their instructions and get it done properly, then and you call back a day or 2 later to see if you were granted your reservation. You got to do it all again. It's different. Anyway, it's a headache. So I had a very hard time doing that. So people suggested what's called the Villages Tee Time System, which is a website. It's thevillages.net. And then you have to follow, and I'll show you on a video here in just a moment, a specific order of things to select the course and the time and how many golfers and et cetera that you want to play. So it's very efficient. And it's a way that they can keep track. For me, I joined a local group when I got here. They were kind enough to come to me and ask, would you like to play golf? And they play on Mondays and Wednesdays. So luckily, we have what's called a commissioner. And he named himself the commissioner. And he schedules the tee times. And that is a big job, and it's hard to keep a bunch of golfers happy. But what happens is he will ask if you want to play.
Your golf number, too.
Yeah, he'll ask if you want to play next Monday. So a week ahead, he'll put in a request, and he may have 13 golfers that want to play. So he will collect all of our village ID numbers. We have a 6-digit number that identifies each of us. She has one, I have one, everybody has one. And he'll put those in. And that request goes through the computer. Now, will we get what we want? Let's say that he may put in 8 courses as choices, knowing that it's tough during the winter season because this place is more crowded. So he'll put in 8 different courses and he'll put in a window of time. He may say we can play from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. And that computer will search out all these courses and see if it has spot for 13 golfers to play together. That would be, at least 4 tee times. And it will get back to him with the results and it'll post it online and we can all check and see if we got the tee time. Well, what they do, those 13 golfers, they look at the amount of times that those 13 have played in the last week. And it adds up. If you played every day, you would have 7 points. Now, my commissioner doesn't allow you to even be in the mix if you have 5 points or more, because that computer will read the total of points and compare that to everybody else's total. They give preference to the people that request with fewer numbers. So the people that have played the least will get the first shot at the tee times.
So points are 1 point for making an appointment or getting a tee time?
Yes. Every time you make a reservation, whether it's on the phone or on the computer, you get 1 reservation point. So that's 1 point. And that's all you'll get if you go play on the day that they've given you. So you get 1 point.
Okay.
But if you cancel on the day of play, let's say today, I was scheduled to play, and I decide that, you know what, I'd rather take you out for an ice cream.
Yeah.
Okay. They would give me 3 points for canceling on the day of play. That's a blow. I mean, if I played another time or two, it could interfere with my ability to play it all the rest of the week. So it's fair, though, but still a 3. So what you can do, let's say that, and this has happened before on multiple occasions, that I want to play today at 2 o'clock, and I make my reservation. But we get a call that my neighbor's sick and needs to go to the hospital or whatever, and I've got to miss that 2 o'clock tee time. If I wanted to play early, or if I wanted to play later, if I can get on, and you may go to the course yourself. You can walk up to the course on a day of play. You can't do any computer reservations on the day that you want to play. You have to do them before. But if I walked up today to Sarasota and said, I was supposed to play at 2, do you have a tee time later in the day? He might say, I've got all kinds of tee times. I've got 5:52, I've got 5:59, I've got 6:08. If I play at any one of those times, I still only get 1 point instead of the 3. Okay. So that's good. And we've done that multiple times, switch times so that we wouldn't be penalized. And a time or two, I had an injury recently. I pulled a muscle pretty bad. I didn't get to play for 10 days.
It was horrible.
But I had a few reservations already reserved. If I just didn't show up, I would get 3 points each one of those times. So I showed up and gave them my ID and reported in and went out with the foursome. And maybe I just putt, or maybe I just chip, or maybe I'm just, what do you call it?
Spectator.
Yeah, spectator, but moral support.
Yeah.
Spectating with moral support. Then I would only get the 1 point. So it's as efficient as they can make it. It's so many people to try to please, and you'll see when you get here. Now, at this point, and it's the 3rd week in May, maybe the 4th week in May. I don't know. I don't even know what day it is. Is this Wednesday?
Yeah,
it's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. I don't know the number.
There are more and more openings on the golf courses. We played Monday, and there was no group in front of us and no group behind us, so it was nice. I looked tonight. She doesn't know it yet, but we have a tee time at 6 o'clock tonight. We're going to play tonight.
Oh, we're going on a day trip. I'm going to be so tired.
That's right. We're excited because today we're going to, with another couple, we're going to jump in the car and we're going to go on a trip and see what we can see out here, Crystal River and Homosassa, and try to eat some good food and have some good fellowship with our buddies. Gizmo's going to a sitter today. Usually we lock him here on this lanai where we are right now, but he told us he doesn't like that, and he doesn't want us to do that. So we have a wonderful lady has agreed to bring him in her home today and play with him while we're gone. So we really do appreciate that. Now, I think I've told you quite a bit about it, except that it costs you $8 to join that villages.net. You know, it's another way the Villages can get in your pocket.
What about the golf cart price?
That's a good point. I'll bring that up. But it does cost $8 a month to be on the villages.net. Well worth it, because it makes a very, very difficult job so much easier. Mm-hmm. Like today, if I wanted to play tomorrow, I could go on there today, and you'll see in the video, I'm going to show you in just a moment, how you can select times to do that. Linda just brought up that we have a good friend that plays with us quite a bit. And when I go to the course, or she goes to the course, we simply show our ID. We're in our golf cart. Doesn't cost a penny. We just go play. That's because at the beginning of the year, I bought what's called a trail pass, $140. And that's good for an entire year for everybody in my household. We can ride our golf carts on the golf courses, no charge. They also have a 6-month fee that you could pay, but we paid it annually. So $70 each, basically. And if my son was here in we have a young son that in the Air Force, if he was here on leave or with us, he could also join in on that 140. So that trail pass is a bargain. My buddy that I was telling you about, he has to pay $4 every time he plays. Even though his golf is free, he has to pay a $4 trail pass. Even if he's riding in my cart, he would still have to pay that. Now he can walk at no charge. Walking is free. You can pull a cart, if you have your own pull cart, no charge. But if you ride, you have to pay the $4 trail fee every single time. Okay, so that's it on the tee time system. I hope I could help you a little bit understand what it's all about. I would say if you're here, go to the Good Golf School. Now let's watch this video that's going to explain what you'll see when you go to villages.net. TheVillages.net offers a service for $8 a month where you can go online and make changes to and adjust your tee times. You can set up templates. I'm going to kind of talk you through this real quickly. You'd sign in here with your golf ID number, your Villages ID, and your name. You go to a login screen where you put your 4-digit PIN in. It'll ask if there are any guests going to play. Then it'll take you to the next screen. And on this next screen, you'll check reservations and view open tee times if you're trying to set up a play. Or you can view your play history. I'll show you that a little bit later. It's got course schedules and lots of other things. And don't forget, you can go to the Good Golf School to learn how to do all of this. But I'll put down the number of golfers, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Are there any guests? If we have guests, you could put that down at this time. And championship or executive, either one. And we'll continue to enter golfers. On this next screen, I'll select the play date, put down the course that we want to look at, or courses, golfer IDs, and I'll select names from a list if I've already used them. And I'll go to the next screen where it's going to show me some courses. Now, I've only have 10 on this screen, but there could be up to 40 executive, and I think there are 12 championship courses. So you click the ones that you're interested in. And then it should take you to the next screen where you're going to see the open tee times. And here they are. This would be at Sarasota, an executive course, and you can see all down through the day how many openings there would be. A 0 means it's full, and later in the year you get more openings. So that's helpful. You can check the rates. They go down in May, and you can even play a twilight rate, which would be much cheaper than the regular yearly rate. Yearly rates for a priority member are cheapest. That's about a $700 or $800 thing that you would buy and give you cheaper rates and access a little bit better. Twilight rates, you can get down to $16 for 18 holes after 4:20 at night in the summertime when it's hotter. So that's the process. I know that wasn't as clear as it could have been, but hopefully you got the idea. Highly recommend join thevillages.net. Now, we're going to have a day trip, and tonight we're going to play some golf.
Yippee.
And we'll see you when you get here.
Talk to you later.